Hey there, YouTube. It's France coming at y'all with another thought. This is a weird angle. I had to put my phone up on this thingy so I could be able to talk because I think I'm going to need to use my hands for this one. But anyways, I'm coming at you guys with, I've been thinking a lot about non-attachment and emotional independence. It's two concepts that I'm trying to really get into and understand, because I feel like the thought of those things, if you're able to master those things, it like brings you to a new level in life, right? Where you're like in like ultimate peace. At least that's my experience. Anyways, I think my understanding of non-attachment is around, like, if you think about it, like in a relationship, right? And you and this person, you break up, right? If I'm thinking of a non-attachment kind of way, you see the relationship as having a start and a finish, and in that moment of the start, in between the moments of the start and the finish, the relationship of what was what it is and is now done. You know, whatever you learn from it, and now you're able to move forward and move on. And the end of the relationship does not mean that, you know, you cannot move on, because if you had real love for this person, that love is a free love, and the love is that whatever makes that person happy, regardless as if that is with you or not, that is enough, like, right? So that person's happiness is not pending on what you do for them, but whatever they feel is good for them, and you are okay with that not being you, right? The ending of the relationship, yes, you normally, like normal people, you may feel some kind of hurt or whatever, but the hurt shouldn't last as long, because you'll see that relationship as a point in your life that was necessary, and it came in, it was what it was, and it has now ended. I'm not sure if that makes sense, right? But I'm trying to really understand this concept of non-attachment in a way to really allow myself to not feel hurt, because I feel like with attachment comes with a lot of hurt, because it comes with expectations, it comes with wants, it comes with if I do for you, then you do for me, and if that doing for me doesn't happen, then I'm disappointed, right? Where if you're practicing non-attachment, another person's actions, you will leave as that person's business, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think what ties into that is that emotional independence is where that your emotions are your own, and it depends on how you, right, choose to feel, right? So if something or someone makes you upset, right, if you're practicing emotional independence, you ultimately have the choice on if you allow that thing or that person or whatever the circumstance to make you upset. Or you could be like, I'm feeling angry about this situation. Let me examine that a little bit and dig in deep about how this circumstance has made me upset. Okay, I see that this has made me upset, and it had these connections. Well, then I'm going to move on from this, because I know that this thing or this person doesn't fit into the energies that I want. So I'm going to leave that there and keep it moving, right? If you have emotional independence, then you don't need other things. You don't need other people to fulfill you, to make you feel happy, to make you feel good. And if you throw the non-attachment piece in that, right? If you don't need others to make you feel happy and make you feel good, and that is self-contained and within yourself, then when you're moving about the world and interacting with people, you're moving and interacting in a different way, and on a higher level, because your peace is within. It's on some other level shit. Like, non-attachment is crazy. It's like non-attachment and emotional independence. they're crazy concepts, right? And I think they're crazy concepts because they're so simple, but yet so hard to do. I was watching this one video where this person was talking about ways that you can practice non-attachment, and she was saying things as like, one thing is like the things that we identify with, right? Those are things that if we don't have them, we'll have some kind of like pain or hurt. You are practicing non-attachment, right? If I make that as a concept as a parent, you see your child, and your child is an individual being, and your child is a free being, right? And you want them to have fluidity and freedom, right? If your child then leaves your side, right, you see that as a good thing, as a bird flying off, right? Versus, the empty nest feeling where you're like, oh no, like, now what am I? Now what can I do? I don't have a child to take care of. I don't have a child to nurture. I don't have a child to feed. You know what I'm saying? Like, then you're feeling like it's a loss for you because you are so attached to your responsibility as being a parent. When your child leaves you, that identity piece of you starts to hurt or to feel empty because that part of you is no longer a need. And that shouldn't be how things are, right? I'm not sure. Does this make any sense out there? I'm really trying to work on understanding this concept of non-attachment. I was explaining to a friend last night, like, if you think about it in a relationship, if you see the relationship for what it is, as it began and as it ended, as a point for yourself where you grew, where you learned, and accept it for that time period as just that. You know what I'm saying? The breakup or the end of the relationship should be easier because you don't have all these extra expectations and wants and needs attached to this relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't mean that you didn't love the person or whatever, but ultimately, if you did love the person, then it's okay to be separate from the person because the point of your love for that person is for that person to be happy regardless of if the happiness is with you or with someone else, right? I don't know if any of these things that I just said makes any sense. However, I think that it's a good concept for anyone to really even think about, even especially since it's the holiday season, right? Right now, a lot of people have a lot of expectations for family, for friends, or right now, a lot of people are feeling lonely and sad because they don't have family and friends, right? But if you're practicing non-attachment and emotional independence, you will search for the happiness within yourself, right? You will search for the joy within yourself and see joy and love and happiness as a choice that you make rather than an external source providing that for you. You know what I'm saying? And it really isn't something that you need something to give you. So anyways, I'm not sure if any of what I just said made any sense. And I'm going to leave this video just like this in a way that it's like not perfect because I'm not perfect. And I really feel like this is a topic or a dialogue that is great for other people to like start thinking of. And there's plenty of videos on YouTube about it, and there's plenty of books on it. But I don't know that I've had this kind of conversation with people that are in my friend group or in my even age group that, being able to really think about that, because people are so stuck. People are so attached, right? People get so attached. Like I've had experiences with people where people just get so wrapped up in how people's actions are, and like it just consumes them. And it's like, if people were working towards non-attachment or emotional independence, how much how much more people will be happier in the world, right? Watching Jada Pinkett's Red Table the other day, which I really love. Jada, I always had good vibes towards Jada Pinkett, but I think that this Red Table that she's doing is awesome. It's on a whole new level of awesome. And I was watching an episode recently of her. So they brought on her half-brother, and they were talking about loss of their father. And she brought up the concept of emotional independence in relationship to her father, and and her aha moment where she realized that her father just, like, her father was never supposed to be a dad, or a father figure for her, and that she was just a happening in his life, you know what I'm saying, that really her father, that she was just a stop on her father's journey, and being okay with that, accepting that, you know what I'm saying, like, and then how that was such a burden relief on her because of all of her expectations for her father to be in her life, to be a parent, kind of like fell away because it wasn't his purpose ultimately to be that for her. His purpose was just to birth her, right? Just to give her life. And in that giving her life, she is able to be the person that she is now, and leaving it at that. Like, that's awesome, right? That's an awesome way to go about life. Like, can you imagine how many people are carrying the baggage of not having a father, or not having a mother, or disappointing relationships, and carrying that on into more and more in other relationships, and they're wondering why their relationships ain't working. You know what I'm saying? So, anywho, this is a video that's much longer than my normal videos, but these are two concepts that I think are really, like, conversation starters, and it's, like, really, really, like, I'm not sure what this means, but really something that's, like, deep, right? And something that really excites me, right, to get to a level of awareness and understanding where I feel like a little bit above, where it's freeing to feel good and happy with me, with myself, with anything, with being at peace within myself, and walking in the world in peace, and regardless of all the external things that are happening around me. I'm just seeing them, acknowledging them, and moving on, and that's enlightening, I feel. I feel like that's big, and I feel like that allows me to be more present and more here, more there, more in the space, more in the moment, versus this hovering cloud of unrealistic thoughts and unrealistic expectations for whatever the situation may be. So anyways, I'm going to put some definitions in my descriptions about non-attachment and emotional independence. I'm also going to link some videos that I've watched to kind of, like, understand it, or trying to dig, because I don't think I really understand it yet, but I'm working towards understanding it and practicing it. Because I really feel like it's such a freeing concept. Both of those concepts are such a freeing concept, and it's really empowering. So I hope that this video was something that you needed. I hope that it's beneficial to you. I hope that you take this information and really ponder on it, really think about it. I hope you have a blessed day. I hope you have a really, really, really good week. I hope you have a happy holiday. Please continue to stay tuned. If this is your first time, please please subscribe. I'm trying my best to put these videos out here, and the quality is not always the best, but I think that my messages, at least for myself, make some kind of sense and feel some kind of good, and does serve some kind of purpose for me. So I hope that is serving some purpose for you as well. Again, please please subscribe, and thank you, and continue to watch.